streaming in
It's
live on the internet.
it's keeping
Okay,
up
hello,
and not
one more
dropping
time in
frames.
your talk.
I'm giving it the frame drop test.
No, there's actually no drop frames.
Okay.
We are capped at 720, but it looks good. And today I have something new because I can have my head at full size and fade it, or I can actually go to both of us and fade it, okay?
Okay, cool.
So we are having like a real studio. So, well, I'm gonna go live right now. There's something I want to talk about, which is what happened today in Ukraine. Today was the first time a supersonic, hypersonic missile having used against a target, against a live target in a war. And this is equivalent of actually having a nuclear bomb up to a point. It makes all air defense useless. It makes many of the weapons systems useless to this situation. So I think we spent on nuclear weapons in the US around 15 trillion over the years. This is in a situation like that. We have nothing at this point. So it's going to be very bad. So that's my
So
point.
it goes too fast for air defenses to intercept it.
Yep. And for trackers. And the humans don't have the chain of command to decide fast enough to stop
Yeah.
So it's we we are looking not only to an increase on the expenditure on military, which is going to imply that the social progress is going to go to shit. In top of that, we're going to have to go to it's 3 to 4%. Okay, it's going to be kind of back to the Cold War. I mean, all our interceptors are useless, and our chain of commanders is useless because you cannot decide fast enough. One of these cruise missiles going at hypersonic, okay? You have seconds, you have minutes to decide, like 30 seconds to minute and a half to decide what to do.
Well, the generals will love it. They have to buy all new stuff now.
Well, it's worse than that.
America
Okay?
isn't going to get any new roads, bridges, or schools ever. We're going to spend
There
it
is some
all on
truth
the
into that.
military.
Yep. I don't know what happened. I lost my connection to my remote computer, so I have no idea if we're still streaming or not. I don't, but I'm really concerned about that, to tell you the truth. Okay.
The hypersonic missiles.
Yeah, it has happened. Okay, it's not a theoretical thing or several dozen. They actually blow a barracks on Ukraine today. It was shot from Russia all the way into Ukraine from a plane.
Wow. Do they
So,
know how far it can fly after the plane lets go of it?
well, if it was shot from Russia, close to 1,000
Hundreds of
miles.
miles. Yeah.
Looks like 500 to 1,000 miles because it was shot from the ocean,
Oh, wow.
Black Sea.
How big is this thing?
It's big. Okay, the ones that the Chinese are building to actually blow up our beautiful cheapy carriers. They are ICBM side. They use one of these
Oh.
modified 18-wheelers, one per truck. Okay.
So this one that Russia shot was from a plane or from a ship?
It's not clear. They said plane at the beginning, but they are mixing the things. It's as bad as it gets. Okay, in my opinion.
If a plane could carry it, it'd make a great air-to-air weapon. I mean, we've talked about this before, like when they claimed the Phoenix missile could shoot something down at 600 miles, like you were invincible with that. Of course, it only worked in the simulator. But air combat became different because you would everybody would fire their missiles at maximum range and then just run away before the enemy was close enough to fire on you.
In fact, I'm trying to actually change screens. They were created for two play. They were created for the big fat. The idea is actually when one of the Russian bombers will come close, which bomber has a very predictable flight path, they
Yeah.
will go shoot it, get the F out and change the direction of the boat. But the Russians never had an interest to actually bomb our boats. So, and therefore thing was a big cluster F. It was very expensive to maintain, so the whole thing was discontinued. The French have this thing they call the Meteor, and this thing at 50 kilometers, at 60 kilometers, which is 45 miles,
50 miles. Yeah.
is a 100% success rate of a kill.
Wow.
It it's a ramjet, so it starts slow. Most missiles are rockets, so they go full speed, and at the end they go for kinetic energy. So when you get them on the first third of the range, they are very good. But if you get them on the last set of the range, they are going through kinetic energy, so they are very easy to evade. This fucker goes to 1,000 kilometers per hour, like 600 miles, 800 miles, pushing the target. It scales up to 4,000 and goes at full strength. So it hits with not. It tries to hit within power, not with kinetic energy.
Yeah, it's not just coasting, it's actually powered when it hits.
Yeah, and they are too big for the F-35s, and they are designing a cute version, a mini-me, so it will actually fit inside the F-35s. Because the Air Force is hot for them, okay? They try to say, oh, these are so good that actually we don't even need them. But, you know, the whole thing over here, have you seen uh, Putin, the rally that he actually did in Russia
Oh
on
yeah,
TV?
at that stadium.
Yeah, 1930, 1936.
What it reminded me of a Trump rally.
Oh yeah, there's certain similarities, okay? Maria said the same, okay? I mean, proud to be blank. We are all with the leader, and the leader is right, okay?
Yeah.
Similarities for sure, but over here people are extremely concerned, and people are starting to say that doing nothing is is the wrong decision, because this fucker is not going to stop. Okay, so
We need to send a hit team. We shouldn't have to like fight a whole country, right? If we just send a hit team to kill the main guy, the next guy in charge is going to be like, oh, yeah, that was terrible. Now that I'm in, we're going to stop the war.
Well, you
Or
know
the
what
hit team gets him, and then the next guy will stop the war.
happened in Spain? Um, in Spain, we had a dictatorship in 1973, 72, 73. The dictator, he was really old and he was not full 100%. So he was the figurehead, but he was basically semi-retired, if you know what I mean. He was not running the show. I mean, he was running the show in name, but not in reality. So there was this
Like the Queen
admiral.
of England.
Yeah. So he was this admiral. No, no, he actually had, he was the head of the state and the president. He had the real power, okay? But even though he was the official head of the state and the official dictator of the country, one admiral was running the show. He had actually a CEO, okay? He was the president. He actually, he got old, so he basically appointed a CEO, an admiral of the Navy. So this guy, uh, the most important thing, the most important guy in Spain at the time, he liked to go to church, so he had four different paths to go to church. Madrid was almost an armored city. Okay, there was no, it was controlled by the government. There were army and police everywhere. So he was going to church, and on just while he was actually going through a manhole, somebody put so many explosives uh, below it that the guy flew to the top of the building. His car
Wow.
flew to the top of the building.
Oh, the whole car. Wow.
Yes. The official explanation was um, the terrorist group ETA. The terrorist group ETA said we are responsible. He basically killed the prime minister of Spain, not the president. If you know what I mean, the equivalent. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, and you know, it's like if you kill Bush on the Bush Cheney things. If you killed, he was Cheney. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's actually the guy who was running the show. Okay. And there were actually multiple cars protecting him, and only the car where he was going actually blew up. And it was done by the local by the local terrorist group, which they never have done such a sophisticated um, terrorist act, because you need to know all the paths that this guy goes. You need to know the exact timing. You need to actually have the bomb located on the right location, and you need to explode this thing just with trigger perfect precision when it blows up.
Yeah.
Okay, this is another. There is another story. The king of Spain was talking to the Americans at the time, and the Americans wanted the regime change. They didn't want more of the dictatorship. So when this guy, when the old style, they start to say, well, we're going to keep the show running. We have a new guy, so we can keep the show running for another 40 years. The Americans said, hell no. Okay. And the CIA basically hired the, the ETA, and they told how you do it. We'll give you intelligence. We'll give you a second. We'll explain you how to do it, and you blow the motherfucker. So after that, they didn't want no. After that, they understood that democracy was the way to go. Okay. So as soon as number one died, they basically decided voluntarily it was time of dissolve the dictatorship. But they already had the second dictator, like Trump, like excuse me, like Putin has already a guy that is going to be his follower, his successor.
Bushy's dad went to like a place called Highland Beach where I used to live in Florida. And man, there for a day before he came, there was like security everywhere. And the day that he was there, like every rooftop had like a guy on it and stuff. So I'm surprised nobody checked the manhole covers. Either it was an oversight or they deliberately didn't find it. Yeah. They could watch and see them check the manholes and then try and sneak in after the check.
In the case of Madrid, the manholes, you can walk through them. Well, let us finish today. I'm going to drop it right now. I think I have accomplished all the goals. No drop, 0% drop frames, and this is the first time I actually have mixed. I actually have changed from my face. This is my face. Your faces. So take a look how it looks, okay? And I'm out in 3, 2, 1.